Love that first cup of coffee in the morning. Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it doesn't work without you guys. So let's get open for business here. Scratch my nose. And wake up the football guys. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Oh, do I have the wrong remote? Wait. Hold up. There we go. Got two remotes here. So here we are, Saturday morning, Memorial Weekend. And let's not forget what this weekend is about. This weekend isn't about you going to the beach. This is about thinking about others that have fallen. You know, it used to be a Memorial Weekend that Saturday or Sunday morning, my parents would come over and I would drive them to the cemetery over in D.C., because my dad doesn't like driving in D.C., to lay flowers at my great aunt Mabel and her husband's grave and things. And then we'd go by and we'd go to the other cemeteries and put flowers and things, because this is what it was about. Remembering those who are no longer here with us. So keep that in mind this weekend when you're sitting around and you're mad about, social distancing, or you're out there and about and things like that. Think about what this weekend is really about. For our Dallas Cowboys that seem to be, depending on who you listen to, some people will say the Eagles have had a great offseason, that they've really created a juggernaut. Other people will say the Dallas Cowboys have done a lot. Some of the talking heads, like Colin Cowherd, will say that the Dallas Cowboys, their defense, they got worse this year. They're not a better team. Okay, well, that's the great thing about football is you don't know what you don't know. What we know is half of the teams that were in the playoffs this year won't be next year. Last year at this time, we thought the Rams were a really good team. They missed the playoffs this year. Teams that go to the Super Bowl and don't win, take a look at some of them. Carolina, what has Carolina done since they went to the Super Bowl? Denver, they kind of fell off the map. Of course, we talked about the Rams. And then there's, of course, the Eagles. The Eagles, you can't look at and say they're the same team that won the Super Bowl. They have taken some hits, but we're not here to talk about the Eagles. We're here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams and the Jets haven't really negotiated this offseason. He is basically on the last year of his deal, or excuse me, I think he's set to make like $3.5 million. The Jets could end up putting the fifth-year option on him, which get him around $9 million the next year. But he wants a deal now. And you can arguably say that he's one of the top three safeties in the NFL. He's still young. He is from the Texas area and would love to come to play for Dallas. The problem is one, he wants to be the top paid safety, $15, $16 million a year. You can make that work, as I was pointing out last night with the salary cap situation. The talking heads out there will tell you they would have to make adjustments to make that work. Well, here's the thing that's kind of interesting is when you actually do these deals, the first year you kind of get cap relief. If you look at, let's say, Amari Cooper here. Amari Cooper signed his big deal, right? Amari Cooper's hit this year is only $12 million. His hit this year is less than before he got the deal. And that was true with Zach Martin. That was true with Jalen Smith. They keep going through and they keep trying to kill the Cowboys. Oh, the Cowboys, they've got all these expenses. They got one of the highest paid linebackers in Jalen Smith. He's top of it. But, Jalen Smith's hit is only $7.7 million. That's not that bad. And when we talk about, their offensive line, they've got a fortune tied up in the offensive line. Well, true, they do, but quite frankly, when you look at Tyron Smith at $13 million, that's actually not that bad for one of the best left tackles in football. Zach Martin, best guard in football, $15 million. Yeah, I get you that. But you get down there with Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins is only 4.9. And with Travis Frederick is it would have been 11.9, but you're going to drop off $7 million. So, yeah, we were one of the highest paid ones, but it's actually not as bad as what they put out. Yes, we only have $5.6 million of cap room at this moment, but, the Rams only have $500,000. And that number is a little deceptive because, like I said, come June 1st next week, we get $7 million right there. That gets us to, almost $13 million? And if we get the Dak Prescott deal done, you're going to have cap savings because right now that cap number of 31.49 is high because it's just a straight franchise tag. You can't prorate any of that. They get that deal done, you're going to look at about $7-8 million more in cap space. So now you're talking about $22 million. And there's no guarantee that any of these guys that are here are going to necessarily be here. For example, if Tyrone Crawford, if you say, okay, I could have Tyrone Crawford or I could have Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams' upside is he's a safety in a position that we could definitely use an upgrade. He's also young. He makes the defense better. Tyrone Crawford, well, we end up getting Aldon Smith. We'll probably get Randy Gregory back. We'll end up getting, we got Gerald McCoy. Okay, and don't, please, I love Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford is cool people. Tyrone Crawford's got a couple of Jobu t-shirts, okay? I'm not saying I want to get rid of Tyrone Crawford, but understand these are the type of things that you look at as a team because you only have so much money that can go around in so many positions. You have to figure out which positions are the most important and where I need the biggest help. What is the spot that I can get the biggest bang for the buck? Right now, defensive line, surprisingly, you have a lot to work with. A lot more than what you thought you would have when the season ended. You bring in Dontari Poe, you bring in Gerald McCoy, you end up drafting the Canadian Bulldozer, you end up signing Aldon Smith, you end up maybe getting Randy Gregory back. That's 5 guys that you didn't know at the end of the season that were going to be on your team. As far as safety goes, you lost one, Jeff Heath, and you got Clinton Ha Dix. You haven't had a lot of movement there. So if you're looking and saying, this is another area where I could bump up, and if this is where you deem the difference of making a deep run in a Super Bowl run versus not, then you have to look at what it'll cost you. Money-wise, you can make it work. You can make it work. The bigger question is dealing with the Jets. The Jets, well, they're not exactly happy with the Dallas Cowboys. And if they make a deal with the Cowboys, they're going to want the Cowboys to pay. They want some pain. Because it was kind of the Cowboys getting the stuff out the bag that kind of the Jets view as the reason why they didn't get a deal done. That they would have had him traded, done, and over it, but the Cowboys, they kind of screwed it up. They screwed the pooch on them. They threw him under the bus. And so, if anything, it'll cost the Cowboys more than anybody else because vengeance they want to have. And what we're talking about here is a first round and a third round pick. Now, I would dare say I would be better with that than getting rid of Michael Gallup. There ain't no way, no how I'm giving up Michael Gallup. But when I look at multiple picks for a player, it's one of those things that personally, I'm not the GM, I'm not the owner, I have no control of the Cowboys. This is just my personal opinion. I don't like the idea of giving up 2 for 1. I just never have. Because that's 2 players that should be on your team. When you think of Dak Prescott being a 4th round pick, when you think of Michael Gallup being a 3rd round pick, these are guys that are valuable to your team. And you have to be damn sure you're going to get like value. We tried that with Morris Claiborne, where we took a 1st and a 2nd to move up for who we thought was going to be the best defensive talent in the draft. And that blew up in our face. We didn't get value. Now, he did get himself a Super Bowl ring with KC. Congratulations to him. But that number 1 pick should have been a starter and impact player, and that number 2 should have been a starter for 4, 5, 6 years. And you missed out then on both. So you're not only missing out on one, you're missing out twice. You're doubling in. This is, wow. This is doubling down in blackjack. You understand? You're risking a whole lot more. So in my mind, I don't know that I want to put out that much. But on the flip side, and I'm trying to give you both sides of the argument. On the flip side, if you believe that this team is a team that can go deep, then you're not looking at a top 10 pick that you're giving up. You're looking at more of maybe the mid-20s, maybe the late 20s, maybe a 30s. In which case, it's not quite as much pain. Do I have the answer for this? No, I don't. I really don't. This is going to be one of those tough gut calls. They can make the deal work. They can make it happen. Question is, do you want to spend what it's going to cost to get it? I don't know. Well, I need to go to the grocery store and get some things. I should have done that earlier in the week instead of Saturday morning, but I need to do that. I got to go look at a deck. And I got a lot of work to do in the workshop. So for me, Memorial Weekend, well, it's another weekend that I got work to do. But I'm happy that I have work to do, and I'm happy that I'm able to do it. All right, be safe out there. Make sure you keep your distance. Mask up. Please mask up, okay? I don't want your cooties, and you don't want mine. So let's do that. You have a great day.